So Tabs, you said yes. We have a bit of a special setup, so we should, it's good to talk about it, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's basically I can hear that you have some there's more organization than being just a single hub. So us understanding more about that, it's important for us to then be able to facilitate that. And even things like very tangible of the hub leads group chat and certain
Yeah,
roles and
absolutely,
things like that.
absolutely. Can I share my screen? I think I'll just show you.
Yes.
We've been working on this today, and we just came out from our internal meeting actually. So
Okay.
that's just still not that's still work in progress. But at least you can get some idea here of the home page. We like using Notion for
Nice.
quick edits. So we plan to have some kind of video welcome, step by step, start here. We're going to talk about selection criteria because we do have almost 150, 200 signups. So we want to make make it clear like you have to engage properly in order to be selected for the in-person hack, if that is
Mm-hmm.
a problem. Um,
Congrats, by
announcements,
the way.
prices here is obviously. Oh yeah, thanks. Prices here, this is a bit like the placeholder, but we're gonna mention the big price. I know there's some corner pool price like split, but I don't think you've said that much about it, so I haven't mentioned it. Local price pool, we just want to incentivize it locally, so this we just take from the stipend. And
Okay.
then same thing, Friday quizzes. So we want to have quizzes every Friday to maintain engagement. We started to put in like learning
Cool.
resources here. Cardano Learning Center, intro, workshop recordings. We've divided the work a little bit. This is our tutor that we hired and we've worked with before. He knows Icon. And then leaderboard, this is essentially to keep track of how people are doing vis-a-vis
Okay.
the selection criteria. And then FAQ. And then Kiddos has prepared an extensive hub lead or like local lead guide that that explains like every little expectation in extreme detail from like
Nice.
okay you
Well,
gotta message people to see if they're actually studying and check in with them and lots of things like that.
okay. Awesome. All right.
And then we
Um,
are still to well because his kid has been away, he's been sick. He's still to look up the your side of things, like the infra that you've prepared. So we have
mhm.
to like just better understand how we're gonna blend that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm hearing already is there's like this level in between of yourselves
Hmm.
and the hubs where you're preparing information, kind of curating things, pulling resources together, um, and then sharing that with the hub leads. How would you describe
Well,
the
they are
engagement?
they. Well, I would say that I mean Kidis is the Ethiopian hub lead
Okay,
I would
cool.
say, but like they are also adding in so like we're doing different tasks. So one of the other
Yeah.
like Nigeria one, she's responsible for the team matching, and then the Rwanda team, they are doing the social media, like preparing a posting schedule. So we have regular posts, but we're all kind of
Okay.
sharing those. Whereas I set up the
Okay.
Notion, Kidus set up the detailed guidance. So it's like we're just taking on different
Yeah,
roles.
we're sharing it. The reason we're preparing this is so that there's like uniform expectations across different countries, because we don't want me to do something else, and then we don't want the like Nigerian person to come up with their own thing and then do something else. And now we don't have uniform execution. So this is just for us to align on what's expected and how we run this. Then we'll all just stick to the plan.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Um, why? Why do you want to make it uniform?
Well, not all things are
Well,
uniform,
previ
but yeah, Kiddes, you
yeah,
can answer.
not yeah, not all things are uniform, but previously when we had championship, the African Blockchain Championship, we what we did was within the team we just kind of let people do their own thing. So some of the ideas worked out, some really didn't, and there was like a lot of inconsistency in terms of performance. So for Ethiopia, for example, we had like a lot of people show up, but most of them weren't, like devs per se.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like small details that, created like a different vibe in terms of the in-person hackathon and the submissions. So
Right.
having this uniform plan kind of just allows us to be like, okay, here is the goal and here's how we'll go about it. But each hub lead is responsible for contextualizing the plan and communication. So, for example, like in terms of creating communication channels, we discussed, and Nigerians and Rwandans prefer WhatsApp, so we're gonna have WhatsApp hub announcement channels. But for Ethiopia, they prefer Telegram, so we're gonna do Telegram. So what we're controlling is that the fact that there needs to be an announcement channel, we don't say like it needs to be here and it has to be the same. If
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Um, and in terms of the kind of shape and form of the hackathons themselves, is that still open for the hubs to kind of design in their own way?
Sorry, what do you
Uh,
say about?
yeah, go ahead, Simon.
Could you repeat
Yeah,
the
I was
designing
saying
your own way?
in terms of the hackathons themselves, are they
Hmm.
still open to be designed in the hub's own way, kind of like taking shape, taking form, and how for them to put their own organizational input into it?
Yeah, we haven't said like most of what I've mentioned here is like communication
Okay,
standards. Like, I mean, everything that we have standardized is like messages and like frequency of that type of stuff. We haven't said anything about, aside from dates, we haven't said anything about the hackathon itself.
yeah,
So,
okay, cool. Nice. Are there any challenges you're facing or anything that's kind of happening better than you would have expected? Anything that's surprising you? Um, and maybe before that, I would be really curious to know what's your, how does this look from your perspective so far? How does this whole program look from your perspective? What are you understanding about the purpose of it, how we've approached it, things like that?
uh, yeah, maybe okay, lots of questions in one. I guess I can say surprising or things is I think there's more interest than I expected. Like I didn't expect us to be able to get this many signups this quickly, to be honest.
Cool.
But so that was great. So the people we have on our team is has done a great job. Um,
Yeah.
what was the other question?
Um, what's your understanding of how we've tried to structure this, our approach to this program?
What's my understanding of the approach to this program? Well, I mean, I think the emphasis is not to be top down. I think that's my main sort of takeaway, and that I agree with. So I think the big problem that you see very often is that you get generic crypto ideas that have been done so many times, and so I think focusing on, I think focusing on helping them think about looking for solution or like looking for problems that are very local and that are very like close to them is is uh is just very important. And I think you guys have emphasized that a lot. So I think we need to then make sure we also relay this. And so especially I think there's a risk that they think we want something like they're a bit like
Yeah.
lip servicing, you know what I mean? So I think we
Absolutely.
need to just work, like explicitly work against that and say like, no, like don't build what you think we want. Just think about your daily problems or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So that's my main,
Awesome.
say that's my main takeaway.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Kidis?
I would say decentralized as much as possible. It's the same thing that Simon said, but when you asked the question, what came to my head was decentralized but structured. Structured mainly because I love structure, I guess. But
Cool.
the one risk of like too much decentralization is as well, like uh, this, openness comes with a risk of like, you might have, again, as I said before, some hub leads that are really, really good and driven, and some people that are not
Mm,
so driven or so creative, and they miss like some basic things. So uh, for us to kind of structure what a hackathon is, and what the
yeah,
elements of that hackathon could be, but not what the
yeah,
actual output of the hackathon is, right? So communication
yeah,
cadence, it could be like maybe submission instructions, timeline, but outside of that, and maybe like target audiences that they could source within their communities. You
yeah.
could say like, people that know business or could make business case, product managers, maybe even students from, certain backgrounds. You'd obviously need devs. As I said
Yeah.
before, that was sort of not understood by one of our hub leads, and she was promoting where she was hanging out. So there was lack of devs because at the end of the day, you could have the idea, the PRD, the designs. If you can't build it, it's going to be a bit challenging. So
Yeah.
the structure would come in there, but as much as you can, basically, enabling participants to come up with a solution uh, um, that, that's basically community oriented or like basically solve their day-to-day problems and
Hmm.
try to help them kind of, ideate and solve problems within their communities that they've actually observed, as opposed to, big ideas or money-making ideas that are
Hmm.
very common on the internet, or, just ask ChatGPT, what should I build? Uh, so maybe emphasis on problem solving, the double diamond model, right? So they can start from stuff they observe and they can
Yeah.
arrive at a solution that's actually useful. So
Hmm.
that's where the decentralization comes in, so that it's actually contextualized solutions that they build. But
Hmm.
at the same time, try to structure the organization so that, we don't have fall through. So that
Yeah.
is, I would, what I understand from the approach. Please do let me know if there's anything that I have missed.
No, no, it's great, and it's always so. I'm always really grateful to hear these kind of reflections, because we really do put a lot of effort into the design of the calls that we run. So it's really wonderful when people like engage with that and sort of reciprocate. So yeah, of course, both of what you've both said is very resonant. Um, I was gonna ask if there's if you've thought this kind of relates to so Directed has um, multiple hubs, right? And in
Mhm.
that way, you're kind of like a subgraph within the overall hub cohort. You've got a little your own cluster where there's multiple Directed hubs. Have you are you working actively on like a common aim or a common purpose amongst yourselves, or is it kind of like I'm just curious if that's like because I think it relates with what you were saying about there's a difference in outcome between hubs. Some might go really far, some might be a bit more disengaged. Um, is there like a common aim or a common purpose amongst yourselves where you can kind of like align around that and I don't know, collaborate or just generate more learning together. You've spoken about this kind of communication protocol and expectations. I was just wondering, besides that, how are you aiming to generate and share learnings amongst yourselves between the hubs?
Well, I can just talk about the shared vision and that is, well, directed development is built to identify and help realize the full potential of tech talent across Africa. Um, because we believe that talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And so that is the core ethos. And in the pursuit of this mission, we realize that there is importance in connecting employers or global technology solutions with young, eager developers and builders. Now, I mean, yeah, I think maybe Kidus, you can take the other part there.
So yeah, that is the shared vision, but on top of that, we've had a brainstorming call um, recently where we kind of discussed like challenges we've had overall,
Mm.
running past hackathons, and uh, the discussion was mainly focused on like what can we do. There were I think how many questions, Simon? Around eight, more than that. There were specific
No, no,
questions that
I
Simon
sent
shared.
4 questions with the team. It was basically I drilled down to the essence of like what we need to achieve. So how do we keep people engaged and motivated? How do we choose people to join? How do we share information? And then uh, it's like post-mortem, but pre post-mortem. So I say, imagine it's December 20th. This has failed. Why did it
Mm.
fail? So that was how we started the planning on Monday or Tuesday. No, wait, that was Tuesday's today. Yeah, so it was on Monday. Yeah,
It
so
was
I
yesterday.
sent the message. Yeah, I sent the message over the weekend to let people start to reflect on it.
Cool. Yeah, one of the reasons why I ask, and by the way, I'm just really happy and excited for you. It sounds like there's loads of
Hmm.
really awesome work going on. Um, One of the main reasons why I asked is because you're familiar with this app, obviously, with the map and things. That's got kind of everyone in here. Um, I've added now this section for hubs, and um, the point is that there's this button here for see story. I don't know if you remember from the calls. On one of the slides, I presented, or I tried to present, a kind of image of how this could look like to make visible the kind of publications that emerge or the projects that emerge from this process. At the core of that is really making visible a learning journey. And so you have a huge opportunity by being several of you as part of one whole organization to actually work in a slightly different way to others who might just be one hub on their own, as you're already doing the coordination, resource sharing, things like that. And so I'm just sharing with you again this kind of end goal of publishing a story at the end of this. And I want to invite you to think about how you can make as much of your learning visible as you go.
Hmm.
And you were touching on like recruiters or people getting in touch with talent. This is one of the main ways that we can support in that. And like I've been saying before, all of our infrastructure is like a template. So this potentialized subdomain is currently temporarily on Vercel.app, which is absolutely atrocious, and I really want to change that. But you can imagine it being on WADA.org. If we get far enough, it can also be deployed to each hub. So an individual hub could have its own potentialized subdomain. Um, and in that way engage those extended audiences like you're talking about in a very direct way. Yeah, you've already asked Simon about the Telegram groups. These buttons are one way for people to engage with that. Have you thought about the docs? Have you tried the docs propagate that Carlos demoed in enrollment too?
No, no.
Okay,
I gave it to kiddos as homework, but we prioritize setting up the things we told you, showed you.
okay,
But this
cool,
is next for us.
cool. Is it clear to you, or how's it making sense to you? Um how does it land?
Uh, I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. I I guess I mean I can say that I like it. I like the looks of it.
What do you think about engaging partners with these resources? Like if each hub had a docs and you could
Yeah.
get the teams to write their projects into the docs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that would be good. Like one weakness, so what that's, I mean, I think that was a big weakness of the African Blockchain Championship. We did not, I mean, it was very much MVP, but we did
Mm-hmm.
not have a nice infrastructure for them to see each other's projects. So, I mean, yeah, I still kind of have it a bit as a backlog to somehow share it, but like right now, it's just, I don't know. If that's what you meant.
Yeah, yeah, more or less. Kidus, have you thought about or have you tried out the Propagate app, the
No,
demo?
not yet. I got back to work very recently, so it's been a bit hectic. And we did prioritize, the internal planning that would lead to the
Cool.
execution. Uh,
Yeah,
but I can definitely give it a try once, we've aligned with the hub leads and everyone, and we've gotten started. Because then it would be like, less uh, less of a load and less stressful, right? The
yeah,
most difficult part is always getting started and getting things going. So we need
yeah,
to hit the ground as soon as possible.
yeah. Yes. Yeah, and interestingly, that the earlier you can start to document, the better. Because really we want to see the process leading up to the hackathon itself. So even
Hmm.
the initial planning, the initial meetings you're having where you're like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? Having a little visibility of that to then be able to see the progression to where you're all aligned and coordinated at the hackathon, that can be really powerful.
Yeah.
Um, and the docs is a great way to do that and kind of keep archiving things into there. I might even put this video up. I don't know if you mentioned. I mean, I would ask for your consent on that, of course. But
Oh no, it's okay. At least for me, I think we're very transparent ourselves as well. I
okay,
have told Kidus like we should do more behind the scenes. So it's like this is his kick in the butt to do more of that. Like I tried to do
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but I
okay,
it's busy. But yeah, I
that's
like that.
awesome. Okay, because this video here, I don't know. Have either of you watched this yet?
Uh,
It's in the it's in the
wait,
archive.
which one? Maybe you said it
Uh,
already.
was here chatting with Olivier. He's actually in Goma, which is a francophone, French-speaking country. So um, yeah, I really appreciated his effort to talk with me in English, and we talked through how projects could be evaluated, and basically the docs is a very important part of that to actually see all of that
Oh yeah, the
work.
progression. Yeah. I mean, and that's super nice because we talked about like setting up Google Drives and stuff like that. But I'm like, this is probably yeah, this would be great.
Oh
I'm
yeah, the
also
Docs is definitely to replace Google Drive. And also, I just realized
yeah.
I wasn't sharing my screen. Apologies.
Oh yeah, you weren't. Okay, okay. Sorry.
I was talking about this one. I can send you the link in the chat now. And yeah, I do encourage you to watch it because it was an interesting discussion about how to evaluate projects.
Uh,
Okay, any questions? Anything else you want to touch on? I need to jump ASAP.
yeah, I mean, well, not really, but like you mentioned Telegram bots and stuff like that, but is
Yeah.
that something you guys want to do, or is it more like you're just saying that it is more flexible and it's just better
Oh
in the
no, we're
future?
definitely doing it. We're definitely doing it.
Oh, you are doing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're just trying to migrate the back end at the moment, and it's like really, we're
Hard.
trying to sort of have it all really nicely done. Um, so yeah, in enrollment 3, I very briefly touched on this concept of timelining, which is with the phone as a kind of interface for data acquisition, you could say. We did this in Accra, in Ghana, with about 25 participants, and we had 400 contributions because it's obviously very accessible to just open Telegram, send a quick voice note. And then we transcribed those, generated vector embeddings, and did GraphRag on it. So you can query the whole process as one whole, and it takes all of those different contributions. That's something that we want to set up for your organizing process. So as you're going, you can be making reflections of how you're learning to self-organize these hackathons. And then at the end of it, all of those reflections you can actually read across and generate insights by reflecting on that on the next level up. Where that's done with the Telegram groups and the Telegram bots. So yeah, if you're setting up Telegram groups, it's really important. Please do one per hub, and then just add us as admin. And we might send a form shortly to kind of standardize that collection of links and things. But yeah, we're in the final stages of getting that ready to deploy. And it will also be in the Propagate app. Let me try and find, I'm not sharing screen anymore, am I? Okay. So in enrollment 2, which is in the docs, docs.wada.org, enrollment calls, enrollment 2. There's a section here about halfway through at 45 minutes where Carlos is doing a demo of using this Propagate app. And the Propagate app is used to deploy these different apps that we're talking about to the hub's own cloud instances. So what I mentioned with the timelining and the voice notes, 400 reflections that you can then do GraphRag on, that would be automated, the whole deployment and setup of that, so you can kind of get started straight away. And yeah, we're in the final stages of getting that ready to go. So I'll be back in touch when that's done.
Okay, absolutely nice. Exciting.
Awesome.
Awesome, awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Let's get this done and deliver. I really hope, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we can get at least one company or project per hub to the finals from our side. That's
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
that's my hope, my goal.
That's a good aim.
That would be super sick.
Yeah, for sure. Good luck with that.
Yep, 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 yep.
Awesome.
Uh,
Okay. Well, thank you for sort of arranging this call, and I'm available for any further comms if you want to reach out.
okay, yep, yep. I think Kiddo's internet kind of crashed, he said, so he might have missed the last thing. But there is, he'll just reach out when it's ready, the Telegram stuff.
Nice. I think we should add all of those 4 people back into the Hub Leads group.
Yeah, you think it's worth? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Because I suspect I cannot
Yes.
re-add if
Yeah.
if you kick them
I'll do
out.
that. Yeah.
Maybe not
Of course.
Rani. Kiddos, do you think Rani is needed in
How about
the?
you let me know via Telegram, and then I'll just send me the
Okay.
handles and I'll add them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah, Simon, send Rani as well. It's okay. I'll speak with her.
Okay. Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. In that case, it's just the same. The ones that were removed. Tabs. Just the same.
Okay.
The 4.
Sweet. Will do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then thank you.
Take care. Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
See you later.